How about the amazing Denver Broncos? They lead Oakland 21-7 at the half. The Broncos have intercepted 4. Chicago and Minnesota battled overtime this afternoon. Here's Avellini rallying the Bears, going to Greg Latta. 16-13, Chicago ahead. Now, Chicago had a field goal. They could have won it in the fourth quarter, but it was blocked by Blair and Allen. Now watch Sir Francis with time running out. Give him credit for one thing. He doesn't quit, folks. Here is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Intentional grounding. We go to overtime. Now, fake field goal. Minnesota goes for the touchdown. And they win it 22-16. And Jimmy the Greek, there's going to be some wise guys who are going to say they did it because of the number.
Forget about it, Brendan. To begin with, there was a great play call. It was the first down. If the pass is incomplete, they still can go for the field goal. But Grant, don't challenge his integrity. I mean, he's a good man, honest man, and plus the fact that Minnesota was favored by more than 6.
All right, Irv, what about that World Series going on? Yankees trying to wrap it up.
Sorry to be listening to the baseball game right now, but the Dodgers are ahead in the top of the 5th by a score of 5-0. Dave Yeager hit a 3-run homer in the 4th inning.
Coming back to the Bronx, Steve Yeager did it for him, didn't he? Now let's get you up to date on all of the football scores around the National League. And we had some wild games this afternoon. Here's Dallas, the game you're watching, leading Washington 14-13. Always a classic, isn't it? New England and San Diego, 7-6 in the third quarter, figured to be close. And here's the surprise of the day. Denver has had outstanding field position, 4 interceptions. They've jumped all over Oakland. Took the opening kickoff, marched in for a touchdown. Miami went back home, and they've jumped the New York Jets, 21-3 in the third. Tampa Bay and Seattle, McKay trying to win his first. In the third quarter, Seattle leads them by a point. The Los Angeles Rams just scored again, so now they lead New Orleans 14-7 in the third quarter. And a final score, 24-23. Cockroft kicks a field goal as time runs out, and the Browns now jump to first place. And Chicago losing to Minnesota 22-16 in overtime. Baltimore wins. That sets up that showdown next week with New England. The Colts still unbeaten, 17-6 over Kansas City. The New York Giants beat San Francisco 2017, although the 49ers rallied in the second half. St. Louis behind Jim Hart beats Philadelphia 21-17. Likewise, the Eagles came back. Detroit downs Green Bay 10-6. Tough defensive battle in the NFC Central. And here it is. Buffalo shuts out Atlanta 3-0. The final score in that game. And the National Football League on CBS will continue right after these messages from your local stations. Only one man in the history of the National Football League had ever gained more than 10,000 yards rushing until this afternoon. His name was Jimmy Brown, and the man pursuing him, number 32, the Juice, and here he comes. Better than 10,000 yards as he closes in on Brown's fantastic total of better than 12,000. Now that set up a field goal. So here was Buffalo back to kick, and Atlanta stormed in them. The fourth quarter, Falcons needed just a field goal to try. Stopped 3 straight times. 4th and 1. Atlanta went for the first down. Scott Hunter is the quarterback. Keeps it himself on the roll. Great defensive play by Buffalo. They hold and take over. One more time, Atlanta comes down the field. And here it is. Hunter on the roll. Had Alfred Jenkins working the sideline. Hit him neatly inside the 40. Trying to get just a little bit closer now for Mickemeyer. But it was Tony Green who squelched the Atlanta Falcons. And they lose to Buffalo as Jim Ringo wins his first ever as a head coach, 3-0. Irv?
The Baltimore Colts remain undefeated today, Brent, as they defeated the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City by a score of 17-6. The Chiefs, of course, are looking for their very first win, but here in the first quarter, the ball on the 1-yard line, number 34, Ron Lee goes in for Baltimore and opens up a 7-0 lead. The Colts kicking off here. The ball, unfortunately, Kansas City's had all kinds of problems all year long with mistakes, and here the ball carriers hit and they fumble, and the ball is recovered by the Baltimore Colts, which sets up another scoring opportunity in the first quarter. Number 23, Don McCauley, will score. This is the 7th touchdown of the year, by the way, the most touchdowns by any running back in the league in 1977. Kansas City has the ball, 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 34-yard line, and Tony Reed, who's had an outstanding year, number 32, makes a real nifty run here, setting up a scoring opportunity for the Chiefs. And John Brockington, he used to wear the Green Bay Packers jerseys and colors, is now playing for the Chiefs and goes in for a score, but too little too late, and he lost 17-6.
You know, Irv, Baltimore remains unbeaten because of that, and for the Kansas City Chiefs, that is the poorest start in the history of that franchise. Tampa Bay trying to win its first. Seattle with the ball right now. Meyer, the quarterback, he goes to Largent for the touchdown. Boy, Largent's a fine receiver for him. Here is Smith now, again for the Seahawks. Number 47 crashes down to the 7-yard line. And again, that combination. Myers to Largent for a touchdown. It was 14-6. Seattle ahead. The Buccaneers rallied. Quarterback Gary Huff pulls out, and watch in slow motion. His time there as he rolls right and goes to Morris Owens. And Owens has got it, and he's out of bounds at the 2. But then Anthony Davis went in. 17-16 right now. Tampa Bay trails in that football game. Irv?
Brent, the Dallas Cowboys and Washington Redskins, as you've all seen, are really doing battle today at Texas Stadium, and Dallas leads the game at halftime 14-13, and there's just been a rash of injury to Redskin ball players. Joe Theismann in here for Billy Kilmer, who's out with a bruised shoulder, connects here with, puts the ball in the air and is picked off by number 41, Charlie Waters. Roger Staubach takes immediate advantage of that as he goes up deep in the air and hits number 83, Golden Richards. He goes in, and Dallas leads 7-6. Dallas is 2nd and 4 on the Dallas 30-yard line. Staubach ladders the ball to Dorsett, and he does something he hasn't done yet this year. Throws a pass. Number 88, Drew Pearson, latches onto it. Staubach hands off this time to number 44, Robert Newhouse, who runs the ball in, and Dallas takes a 14-6 lead. A lot of turnovers in this game, including blocked punts, and this one is blocked by number 29, Mac Murphy of the Redskins, and they recover the ball. Number 82 here, Dallas Hickman for Washington. And the very next play, 1st and goal on the 6-inch line. Joe Theismann sets up and throws to number 38, Clarence Harmon. He's in the end zone, and the score is knotted at halftime, 14-13.
Irv, the Jets on the board, kick an extra point, 21-10 right now in the 3rd quarter. Seattle just missed a 21-yard field goal. New Orleans and Los Angeles. Pat Hayden takes the handoff from Wendell Tyler. Tyler around the left side, 17 yards for the touchdown, 7-0 Rams. Archie Manning back after a year's layoff. Wants Henry Childs this time. 17 yards, touchdown, tied at 7. Here's Hayden, who replaced Joe Namath. More mobile, they say. Wanted to pass, does, right over the middle. Now watch his tight end, Terry Nelson. What has become of Charlie Young after this? How about that for a second effort by the Rams tight end? 46-yard gain on the play. McCutcheon plows in for the touchdown. The Rams lead at 14-7 in the 3rd quarter. And don't forget tomorrow night on Monday night, Terry Bradshaw will try to play with that cast on his left wrist. A lot more football coming your way as the NFL Today continues on CBS in just a moment.